Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for the 17th of December. So with the DAX here, we'd been looking at the market as wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've made a new high here. So we need to rule out this particular case here and look at wave 1 and 2 coming into play here. So let's dive in and have a look at that. So on the 4-hour chart, would be looking at this as wave 3 over here and wave 4 here rather than wave 1. It's still possible, but I'm just going to dull that out somewhat and look at this point moving in here for this. So with this particular count here, we can look at it as 1 and 2 and 3 coming into play, with wave 4 and wave 5 moving up into 13,800. So for the levels between 13,000, which is a major trading level, and 14,000, we can look at 1, 2 and 3 here, 5, the 500, and then the 800. With the 800 here, we also talk about group 2, which will be 650 and 13,720 as well, but we'll look at that in a moment. This move here appears to be corrective at this stage, and this move here is impulsive. So let's move in and have a closer look at that. So we've got our trend channel here for taking the low and wave 2 here, and we'll bring that trend line over here. When it takes out the top here, we know that that's consistent with being a powerful wave 3. So the levels from the 13,000 major trading level, then we've got the Fibonacci numbers 1, 2 and 3, and then 5 and then 8, which makes up to the next whole number, the 14 here. When we talk about 8, we also talk about group 2. Group 2 is the 65, 650 in this case, and the 720 here. And yes, 600 is important and 700 is important, but the 650 being in the middle of those tends to be a bit of a balance point from the highs and lows that are created at the 600 and the 700. So in terms of trading and getting back into the market or getting into the market, the 650 is important. So, and that will become apparent a little bit later on in that space. In terms of counting this to the upside, we're looking at 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. Now this wave 4 may be complete here, or we need to put wave 4 over here for that. We'll see how that plays out, and then this wave 4 will come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. But sometimes if the market's bullish, taking the top out here, we can view that as this wave 4 not coming back to this wave 4 here in this case. So yeah, that's it. I just don't know. The target to the upside is 13.8, but anywhere between 700 and 800 would be suffice. I'll just check if I've updated the 15-minute chart for this. No, not really, so that's okay. So let's go to the FTSE now. So the FTSE's in the same boat as well. We were looking at, well, we can still look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, or we need to look at wave 1 and 2 here. But with the other market, we're looking at it with wave 1 up here for this. So I know that makes it a little bit more complicated. The main point, we're going to pretty much, whatever happened, we're going to take out that top here. We can go long on that top here, as I mentioned on the daily chart, but also too, yesterday we talked about being long on 6,600. We also have a trade in this half a position in this market here for that. About here, we'll check on that, but 6,600 as support will be the catalyst for the move to the upside. This move down through here can be counted as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, 4, 5 waves down, or we need to look at it as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. Both are kind of valid. The impulse wave to the downside is 1, 2, 3, 4 here. The wave 4 is pulled quite high here. It's pulled back up 61.8% or even more, rather than 38.2 and overlapping wave 1. So as an A and a B and a C, that fits quite nicely. But let's go in and take a closer look at this here. So on the hourly chart, here we can look at it how we were looking at it yesterday in terms of well, down for the A wave, back for the B wave, and down for the C wave. So that's all still quite valid actually, but I have to say this move to the upside here now, now that this has been added in here, this spike here, we can count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for this. So we can see this as the arrival, the reaction here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the ABC pattern, and then that's the point to go long at that stage. I'll just check the 15-minute charts here. So in the lining this up with the DAX and the S&P 500 really, so wave 3 here's an A and a B and a C wave here, and then looking at this as 1 and 2 in here and 3 and 4 here, or even 4 to this point, but we had it here. So and then wave 5 to make wave 1, an A and a B and a C. That's all fitting from that point. We do have a long trade in here for this. We can also put, instead of waiting all the way up to the 6,600, we can place a trade in at, well, group 2 again. So between the two whole numbers here, 5 and 6, we can go 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 here. In 8 there's also group 2, so that's 72 where the market is now, and 65 where it's sitting. But we'll go long, have another half a position on the 80 here, which would make, there's pretty much good 3 reasons for doing that. First of all, it'll be above the 61.8%. Secondly, we've got the supply over here where this corrective pattern was here, the supply just meaning sellers. So that becomes the front line, and if the volume on the buyer side can outweigh the sellers, and that becomes a tested support with little classic trading levels pattern sitting in here, that will just offer another opportunity, and it shouldn't put too much stress on the trade because we've got also got pocket money sitting in at this level here for this. We will be looking for 5 waves up here in this case. Wave 3 technically should be longer than wave 1, so we could just look at this coming into this space here for that, moving that over to there. So at minimum we'll be looking around this level here for that, so maybe even the 700 up at that point, we'll see. We're going to keep the stop out of the way, just going to leave the stop at under the 20 here, so we'll leave the stop at 16, and just in case this comes down and tests it at that point and then moves up from there as an A and a B and a C. But I can see that it looks like an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, so that looks cool at that point, so we'll move that. So yeah, it should just creep higher at that point, and so we'll just stay on that side of the market at this point in time. We only have a little bit of exposure, but it's something that enough to make it worthwhile to build on at that point. So yeah, so target probably around the 6,700. We'll see how we go, but normally if a market gets into group 2 here, the 65, and finds support on this level, then we'll be going a fair bit higher than that point. But we'll just be conservative and we'll just edge along as we see fit. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.